Singapore is famous for its futuristic skyline, world-class service, and polished reputation. But here's the shocking truth: many travelers regret staying in 5-star hotels here. At first, the idea seems perfect. Infinity pools overlooking Marina Bay, Michelin-starred restaurants, and luxury lobbies dripping in gold. But once you're checked in, the problems begin. Hidden charges, impersonal service, and experiences that feel detached from real Singapore leave many guests disappointed. Let's start with cost. 5-star hotels in Singapore are among the most expensive in Asia, and prices often skyrocket during peak seasons. Even when you think you've budgeted carefully, the bill grows. Taxes, service charges, and mandatory add-ons push costs higher than you imagine. Breakfasts that should be included come with premium prices. Parking, airport transfers, and even minibar items feel unreasonably inflated. Many travelers leave reviews saying, "We expected expensive, but not like this." What was supposed to be luxury turns into sticker shock. Then comes the issue of service. While Singapore prides itself on efficiency, efficiency doesn't always mean warmth. 5-star hotels here are polished to perfection, but often lack soul. Guests feel like corporate clients rather than welcome travelers. Compare this with boutique hotels in neighborhoods like Kampong Glam or Chinatown. Staff greet you personally, remember your preferences, and share local recommendations. In boutique stays, service feels human. In 5-star towers, service often feels scripted. Another problem is atmosphere. Big luxury hotels can feel sterile, more like airports than destinations. The lobbies are grand, but cold. The rooms are sleek, but lack personality. Travelers expecting something uniquely Singaporean often feel disappointed. Instead of culture, they get a global chain that looks the same in New York, Dubai, or Hong Kong. Authenticity disappears inside these skyscrapers. You could close your eyes and forget you're even in Singapore. Meanwhile, boutique hotels embrace heritage. Restored shophouses with Peranakan tiles or colonial charm remind you exactly where you are. Another issue is overcrowding. Hotels like Marina Bay Sands draw massive crowds, and the famous infinity pool is often jammed with tourists. What's advertised as serenity becomes chaos. Guests struggle to take photos without dozens of strangers in the background. Travelers arrive expecting exclusivity, but leave feeling like they visited a theme park. Luxury fades when it feels overrun. Then there's location. While Marina Bay looks spectacular, staying there can feel isolating from authentic street life. Step outside, and you're surrounded by office towers and malls. The street food, markets, and culture you came for lie further away. Guests realize they're paying top price to stay in a bubble. The city's real charm waits beyond the corporate glow. Food quality also raises eyebrows. Hotel buffets look glamorous but often feel bland and overpriced. Meanwhile, hawker centers across the street serve iconic dishes for a fraction of the price. Laksa, chicken rice, and satay taste better at $10 than at $100. This contrast frustrates travelers. They realize the best flavors of Singapore are outside the hotel walls, not inside them. Noise is another hidden issue. Despite polished designs, central locations mean traffic, nightlife, and construction disturb many stays. Singapore is constantly building, and some hotels can't escape the sound. For light sleepers, this feels like betrayal at luxury prices. Another regret comes from expectations. People book 5-star stays for the trip of a lifetime. But when the reality doesn't match the promise, disappointment feels sharper. Guests leave thinking, was it really worth the money? By contrast, 4-star and boutique hotels create delight. Guests expect less, but receive warm surprises that make their trip feel special. That expectation gap defines the regret. Paying more but feeling less is a recipe for disappointment. One of the most common complaints is that 5-star hotels feel disconnected from local culture. Guests fly across the world but end up in rooms that could belong to any global city. Travelers expecting Singapore's unique identity feel cheated. They wanted heritage and culture, but received glass towers and imported furniture. Meanwhile, boutique hotels in Chinatown or Kampong Glam reflect local history. Murals, rattan furniture, and Peranakan tiles bring Singapore's story into every corner. Guests who choose these places leave with richer memories. They feel they've actually lived in the city, not just passed through it. Another issue is the size of these mega properties. Pools, gyms, and lobbies often feel overcrowded, especially during peak season. Instead of intimacy, you're sharing space with hundreds of other tourists. Privacy becomes impossible, even in supposedly premium suites. Travelers often realize they spent hundreds per night for less peace than they could find in a boutique hotel. And that regret stays with them long after checkout. Even business travelers find faults. Conference facilities look sleek, but Wi-Fi glitches and slow service undermine productivity. Modern 4-star hotels often outperform their pricier rivals. Less glamour, but far more practicality. For families, the disappointment is different. Parents spend thousands for space and convenience, only to discover strict rules and unchild-friendly environments. Children quickly get bored of marble lobbies and formal restaurants. Parents regret not booking family-oriented mid-range hotels with more flexibility. Romantic couples face similar regrets. What should feel intimate often feels sterile, surrounded by business travelers and tour groups. A smaller boutique stay feels warmer, more personal, and more romantic. Big-name chains can't compete with that charm. And then there's the question of food. Many guests describe 5-star hotel meals as overpriced versions of hawker classics. Imagine paying $80 for chili crab in a hotel dining room. Then tasting the same dish at Newton Food Center for a fraction of the cost, and far more flavor. This sharp contrast leaves guests questioning why they ever booked luxury dining. In Singapore, the real culinary stars are found in the streets. The truth is that 5-star hotels in Singapore are polished but predictable. They sell comfort, but not experience. Travelers realize too late that the best experiences here aren't behind glass walls. They're outside, alive in hawker centers, markets, and vibrant neighborhoods. Another disappointment is the lack of flexibility. Large hotels stick to rigid check-in times, expensive upgrades, and strict policies. Boutique stays, on the other hand, bend to guests' needs. Owners often go the extra mile to make your stay memorable. The human connection becomes the real luxury. And it costs half the price of a sterile skyscraper suite. Social media also fuels the regret. Travelers expect Instagram-worthy infinity pools and skyline views. But when reality doesn't match the filtered images, disappointment sets in. Crowds, noise, and lines ruin the dream. The infinity pool at Marina Bay Sands is the most famous example. It looks like serenity online, but in person, it feels like a packed theme park. Travelers leave with the same photo as thousands of others. The experience feels more manufactured than magical. The final blow is value for money. For the same price as one night in a 5-star hotel, you could enjoy 3 nights in a boutique stay plus meals, transport, and shopping. Smart travelers compare the two experiences. And most agree the boutique option feels far richer. Because in Singapore, the real luxury is not marble floors or brand names. It's authenticity, connection, and culture. Guests who skip the 5-star chains discover Singapore's heartbeat. They live the city, not just look at it from a rooftop. And when they return home, they talk about hawker stalls, hidden bars, and neighborhoods alive with history. Not the polished lobby of a global chain. That's the secret most visitors learn too late. The 5-star dream often leads to disappointment. The real 5-star experience is in the streets, shared meals, friendly locals, and authentic neighborhoods. Not in overpriced towers designed to look the same worldwide. So why should you never stay at a 5-star hotel in Singapore? Because the city itself is the true luxury, and no skyscraper suite can compete with that. Choose a boutique or mid-range hotel, and you'll discover more than a place to sleep. You'll discover the soul of Singapore. And that memory will last long after you've checked out. True luxury isn't in the stars above the door, it's in the stories you bring home.